He's putting together one of
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. Pickett now to throw off the play fake. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 1st and 10, here's Pickett. Out to the left, he's got Sample there. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has. And if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
Well, this, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Pickett right back to the air again. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Back to throw, Pickett. It's caught. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Jags grab it. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolded.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've comped it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them.
The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And that's out to the flat for Swift. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Got it. Ready? Ready.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Ready.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one.
19.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. His throw incomplete. The Jaguars at 11-4 now on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Throwing again is Smith. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Chris Olave with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Jaguars are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 14-0. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. And now out comes Houston. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Pick it now on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Oh, he's got a look. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the...
And this is going to be intercepted. Marcus Jones picks it. And the Texans are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness, it's been good for his offense.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Jags grab it. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
19 Wyatt, 18 Rattler, 18 Rattler.
Now Smith. Out left and complete to Thornton. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just one or two receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on third downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Texans say they have it. They do. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Pickett will look to throw it here. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On third down, here's Eckler. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the 1st down marker. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. On the move to his left. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jahan Dotson. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. From the 6. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams... Some of these games take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use Fortnite.
I'm impressed,
Yeah, I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
2nd down, it's Henderson. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Pickett, throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
Jahan Dotson getting set for this next drive.
He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off of play action, here's Smith. And his throw here's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Play action. It's Smith. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. But let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works. Sometimes they're ready for you. And that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
No, it's out. Smith lost it. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
I want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
To throw again on 2nd down. Pickett got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a 1st down.
1:53 remaining in this 1st half of play. Well, first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Sam Darnold with one touchdown pass thus far. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it. And he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
On 2nd and 10, Smith.
He completes it to Olave. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other. And
and a bad throw there. It's intercepted.
And the Texans are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Pickett. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is
so that challenge is a successful one.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
encroachment, defense.
Jumping all the way from the outside, maybe getting a little early start on the corner blitz.
And the only time it makes sense to get that penalty is exactly as you described. Otherwise, he should never get that penalty.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Pickett to throw on 1st down.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. That'll give them 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
They'll throw again with Pickett. He'll go right back to St. Brown.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Final play of the first half. Here's Pickett.
He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And this one is incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here.
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
18, right here. Hurt. Right there, hurt.
Now Gino on first down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A good pickup there, a 22.
And while
and Nathaniel Hackett apparently disagrees with the ruling on the field, and he's going to... So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now this one taken in by Olave.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans 33. Smith steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Robert Quinn in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Gino. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Gregory Rousseau in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs now leads to a 3rd and long.
All right, let's give them a little bit of applause here. Good for them because this has been a defensive nightmare for them thus far. At least they're finally getting a couple of big plays. Won't make the scoreboard of the ride home easier, but one good moment to watch in film next week.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
The pass caught by Olave. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
They snap it to Smith.
Got an open man. It's Olave. And he is going to have the Jaguars first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
From the red zone now, Smith.
This pass hauled in by Johnson.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
70 Rangers. Warriors, 70.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Smith being chased out left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll try it now with Swift.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
DeAndre Swift with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Jaguars take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
He'll return it from the 6. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory.
Chris Olave heads back to the field as his guys get set for another possession.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's got a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Robert Quinn able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Olave holds it in. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
18 runs.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith.
Looking for Dotson, and he's got him.
And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the fourth quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
Track 60. Read alert.
On 2nd and 10, Smith.
And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Panther 60.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. Back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Rolling to his left.
Coming across the field, he finds Dotson. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
Touchdown, Jaguars! Chris Olave with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jags add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a fifth straight victory. Extra point by York is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From the 10. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Houston set to take over. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now a throw here to his running back. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
To the air on first down with Pickett.
And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw again on second down. Pickett. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
After the interception, here's Smith. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Chris Olave
with his third touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by York is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
From the 10. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
And the Texans set to come onto the field.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Pickett now on first down. That's going to be caught. It's Palmer.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
And 26 big yards on that one. It's another first down. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett.
Dancing to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Got a man, it's complete, it's Palmer.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
They'll run here with Henderson. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it.
Another shot to at least get on the board here. This is 3rd and goal. Henderson.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different?
True.
You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point.
And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone.
Takes it at the 7. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Chris Olave heads back to the field as his guys get set for another possession.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
The York on now for the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This one taken just inside the 10. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Houston's offense taking over again. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Pickett to throw on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Chris Olave heads back to the field as his guys get set for another possession. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Cut 19.
Throwing now, Smith. They'll roll him out right. Downfield, and he's got Olave. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Mustang 19.
Smith now to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Well, this was a blowout